Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Espero que bien y listos para nuestra clase de español del día de hoy. Today's lesson is about gender, nouns, and definite articles. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to recognize the gender in some nouns and then determine what their definite article is. You know that you have successfully met the target because you will be able to complete sentences by selecting the appropriate definite article for the nouns in the sentences. Before I tell you how to do that, I want to give you some definitions so that you can follow the class much more easily. The definitions that I have for you are that of noun, definite article, and gender. First of all, what is a noun? Very broad definition: person, place, or thing. Examples of words that refer to persons: boy, niño, mother, madre, teacher, profesor, student, estudiante. Examples of words, nouns referring to places: river, río, country, país, street, calle, Madrid, Madrid. And examples of words, nouns, that refer to things: pen, bolígrafo, floor, suelo, house, casa, spoon, cuchara. The next definition that I have for you is that of definite article, and definite article is just a word that is usually written preceding, that means before, a noun, and that indicates the idea that the writer or the speaker know exactly the object or the person or the place that is being referred to. They know the object, and that is exactly what the definite article in English is, the. En español tenemos artículos definidos, 4 artículos definidos. Son el, la, los y las. We are going to classify them in 2 different ways. One way to classify the definite articles in Spanish is by saying if they are masculine, and we have 2 options, el or los, or feminine. And we also have 2 options, la and las. The other way to classify our definite articles in Spanish is by saying if we have one of the noun or many of the noun. For instance, boy or boys. If we have one, we call that singular. And we have 2 options for artículos definidos, one for masculine and one for feminine, el and la. If we have more than one, we call that plural. And we again have 2 options of artículos definidos in Spanish, one for masculine and one for feminine, los and las. For today's lesson, we're just going to concentrate on the singular definite articles, the one for masculine el and the one for feminine la. Finally, the last definition that I have for you is that of gender. And rather than male or female, since we're talking about languages, we're going to say masculine or feminine, as they refer to nouns. And remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing. So, okay, other than person, you may be questioning how can a place and how can a thing have gender? Well, we're talking about languages. You need to remember that. Many languages, and Spanish is one of them, have something that is called grammatical gender. And all that it means is that gender is assigned, that being the key word, assigned to things, to objects. In this case, gender will be assigned to places and to things. So yes, river is going to have a gender. Pen is going to have a gender. How I'm going to explain that in just a moment. Okay? In Spanish, in about 98% of the words in singular, the gender, the grammatical gender, is determined by just looking at the spelling and looking exactly at the last letter. In that sense, we are going to know that a word is masculine from those 98% of the words if the word ends in O. Por ejemplo, from the examples that I had previously, we have the word bolígrafo. It ends in O. That makes it masculine. And to use the definite article, we need to use the masculine definite article. Remember, we're just using the singular ones today. So it will become el bolígrafo. That means the pen. Similarly, suelo ends in O. We also need the masculine definite article, el suelo, and that becomes el suelo, the floor. On the other hand, how do we determine or how do we know if a word is feminine? Out of those 98% of the words, if the word ends in A, that tells us that it is a feminine word. From the examples that I had previously, we have the word casa, it ends in A, so I am going to need the feminine definite article, and remember that is la, so it becomes la casa, the house. It goes from house to the house. Likewise, the word cuchara, it ends in A. I need the feminine definite article, la, to say la cuchara, the spoon. That's all the science behind it. You look at the word, 98% of the word, that means that you have a lot of words that are going to follow. Most of the words are going to follow this system. If they end on an O, masculine, el. If it's plural, los. If it ends in an A, feminine, la. If it's plural, las. That's all. What about the other 2%? That is material for another lesson. Okay? But it's going to follow. Once you understand the concept of things having gender, grammatical gender, and what articles are assigned to each gender, then everything will be much easier. For right now, let's just go ahead and practice recognizing and getting familiar with this concept that is not pertaining to English. It is very foreign to English. So it might give you a little bit of difficulty. Not because it is difficult to understand it, but because it's difficult to grasp things having gender. Okay, let's move. I have these sentences. Okay, notice that it is a sentence. In Spanish, we use the articles a lot. That's why I wanted to put sentences and not just nouns by themselves. So you start develop the feeling of how a sentence is supposed to look like. Let's complete it. And I told you, look at the word, look at the last letter of your noun. In this case, number 1, perro. It ends in O. Oh, that's masculine. Okay. So I have my options are el or la. Remember, we're just using the singular ones today. El or la, so if this is masculine, I need the masculine one, el. Okay. El perro es negro. Número 2, montaña. It ends in A. That is a feminine noun. I need the feminine definite article, singular, that will be la. So my sentence reads, la montaña es alta. Número 3, niño. It ends in O, that makes it masculine. El niño es estudioso. Número 4, gato. It ends in O. It's also a masculine noun, so we again need the masculine singular article. El gato es blanco. Número 5, amigo. It ends in O. So, what kind of noun is this? Masculine or feminine? Exactly, that is masculine. So, we need the masculine definite article, el. El amigo es simpático. Número 6, libro. It ends in O. What kind of noun is this? Masculine or feminine? Masculine. And which is the article that we need? El or la? El. El libro es antiguo. Número 7, plato. It ends in O. That makes it masculine or feminine? Masculine. Very good. And the article that we need, el or la? El. Perfecto. El plato es nuevo. Número 8, silla. Silla. A. Masculine or feminine? Feminine noun. So, what article do we need? El or la? La. Perfecto. La silla es amarilla. Número 9, río. Masculine. El río es ancho. Y finalmente, número 10, casa. Feminine. Perfecto. La casa es bonita. Okay? Again, just look at the last letter and determine if it's masculine or feminine, and then select, write, in this case, the appropriate definite article, el or la. Again, we're just dealing with singular. For the activity that I have for you, it's also very similar. You have, again, 10 sentences that are missing the definite article, and notice that all of them are singular. Okay, we have not done anything in plural today, just singular. So your options, again, are going to be el or la. As a reminder, look at the noun, determine if it's masculine or feminine by the last letter. If it's O, if it ends in O, then it's masculine. If it ends in A, it's feminine. And then write the appropriate definite article. Once you finish, just turn it in and let me know so that I can go ahead and correct it. And this is the class for today. I hope it was easy for you to understand. Tomorrow we will continue with more nouns. We will introduce the plurals, los and las, and we will move on as that. If you have any questions, you know that you can always contact me. Have a great afternoon. Bye bye. Hasta luego.